The day after my parents died, my brother told me to pack my things. He said the house was his now, and I had no place in it. But at the will reading, everything changed. Losing my parents didn't feel real at first. One day, everything was normal. My mom was in the kitchen, my dad was watching TV, and the house felt warm, alive. The next day, everything was gone. Silence replaced their voices. Empty rooms replaced laughter. And I was left standing there, not knowing how to process it. But I didn't even get time to grieve. Because the very next morning, my brother knocked on my door. "Pack your things," he said. Just like that. No emotion. No hesitation. I blinked, thinking I had heard him wrong. "What?" "This house is mine now," he said, leaning against the doorframe like it was already his. "Mom and Dad are gone. There's no reason for you to stay." For a second, I just stared at him. "You can't be serious," I whispered. "Oh, I am," he replied calmly. "I've always handled everything. Bills, repairs, decisions. It's obvious who this house belongs to." My chest tightened. "We just lost them. And this is what you're worried about." "I'm being realistic," he said, shrugging. "Someone has to be." His words didn't just hurt, they shocked me. This was my brother, the same person I grew up with, the same person who sat beside me at the dinner table every night. And now he was acting like I was a stranger. "This is my home too," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. He let out a short laugh. "No," he said, "it's not." Those 3 words hit harder than anything else. I felt something break inside me. "Just give it a few days," I said. "At least wait until the will is read." "I don't need a will," he snapped. "I already know how this works." His confidence made it worse, like I didn't even matter enough to be considered. I looked around my room, my childhood room, photos on the wall, books on the shelf, memories in every corner, and suddenly none of it felt like mine anymore. "Fine," I said quietly. He raised an eyebrow. "Fine. I'll leave," I repeated. For a moment, he looked surprised. Maybe he expected a fight. Maybe he wanted one. But I was too tired, too broken. I packed my things in silence. Every item I picked up felt heavier than it should have. Not because of its weight, but because of what it meant. This wasn't just a house. It was my home. And now I was being pushed out of it like I didn't belong. When I walked out the front door, he didn't stop me, didn't say goodbye, didn't even look back. And just like that, I was alone. Days passed in a blur. I stayed with a friend, trying to process everything. The grief of losing my parents, mixed with the betrayal of losing my brother too. It didn't feel real. But one thought kept coming back to me. The will. Because no matter how confident he was, the truth hadn't been revealed yet. And when the day finally came, he walked into that lawyer's office like he already owned everything. But he had no idea. He was about to lose it all. The day of the will reading arrived. I could feel the tension as soon as I stepped into the lawyer's office. My brother sat there confidently, arms crossed, like he already owned everything. I stayed quiet, letting him soak in that false sense of control. The lawyer opened the file. "Thank you both for coming. We will now proceed with the reading of your parents' will." My brother barely looked at me. "This will is just a formality," he muttered under his breath, clearly certain of the outcome. The lawyer began. "First, we want to express our love for both our children." My brother's smirk widened. "The house will remain under joint ownership," the lawyer continued, "but full control and authority over all property decisions will belong to—" My brother leaned forward, eager to hear the name. "Our younger child." The room went silent. "What?" my brother stammered. His face drained of color. "The decision was made based on trust and responsibility," the lawyer explained, "and the belief that our younger child will ensure fairness and care for all family assets." I could feel my brother trembling, unable to grasp what was happening. "This is absurd," he shouted. "I'm the older one. I should have control." "Your parents disagreed," I said quietly. The lawyer went on. "If any attempt is made to displace or remove our younger child from the home, that individual will forfeit all rights to the property." My brother froze. The weight of those words finally hit him. He turned to me, disbelief written across his face. "You knew about this?" I shook my head. "No, but I had always known one thing. The truth has a way of revealing itself." And at that moment, it had. The power had shifted. I wasn't the one being pushed out anymore. And my brother, who had kicked me out without hesitation, was finally seeing the consequence of his own arrogance. The ride home was silent. My brother didn't speak a word, his confidence gone, replaced by shock and disbelief. When we reached the house, he stopped at the door, staring at it like it belonged to someone else. You can't just," he started, but I cut him off. "You told me to leave," I said calmly. He looked down, ashamed, no excuses left. "I didn't know," he muttered weakly. I nodded. "Exactly." I walked past him and stepped inside. My home, not his, not anymore. For the first time in my life, I realized something important. Family isn't about who claims property first. It's about who respects and supports you, even when everything else is gone. And he had already shown me who he really was. I closed the door behind me and felt a weight lift off my shoulders. I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was finally in control of my life and my home. Some betrayals don't come from strangers. They come from the people you trust the most, the ones who are supposed to stand by you, support you, and protect you when life feels impossible. Losing my parents had already left a hole in my heart I didn't think I could survive. But being kicked out by my own brother, someone I grew up with, someone I called family, was another kind of pain. A betrayal that cut deeper than grief itself. And yet, that moment in the lawyer's office changed everything. Because the truth doesn't care about titles, age, or who thinks they deserve more. The truth simply comes out. And when it does, it has a way of setting things right. I had spent days feeling powerless, angry, and alone. But the will reminded me that real power isn't taken. It's recognized. It comes from integrity, responsibility, and the courage to face what's right, even when others try to push you aside. As I walked into my home that day, fully aware that it was mine by my parents' choice, I felt something I hadn't felt in weeks: peace, relief, strength. I realized that family isn't only about blood. It's about respect, care, and standing by each other when it matters most. My brother had chosen his arrogance over love. My parents had seen that, and in their wisdom, they made sure justice was quietly served. And me, I had survived grief, betrayal, and loneliness. I had endured. I had proven that even when people try to push you out, the truth, patience, and resilience will always bring you back to where you belong. That day, I understood something powerful. Life can take away, people can betray, and pain can break you, but strength, clarity, and integrity are what bring you home. Sometimes the people who leave you standing alone are the very ones who teach you how strong you truly are. And in that lesson, I found not just justice, but freedom. Your one click can keep these stories alive. Subscribe, because every voice deserves to be heard. Don't miss out on the journey. Subscribe and let's grow, laugh, and learn together.